Hi, welcome back. We're going to go back to our lizards. We took a detour, covered the Seder by doing frogs for a few weeks, and now we're back home and we're going to go back to the last of the lizards. We're going to do short ones, maybe 2, 3, or 4 of them. We're going to do today the flying lizard. Of course, all the Rosens remember the flying squirrel, but Hashem made also a flying lizard. And it lives in Asia, a place called Borneo. Hashem gave them the ability to leap from a tree trunk, to loop all the way around and land farther down the same tree trunk facing head up. Or they can jump from one tree to another, as much as 100 feet. They're not really flying, they're gliding, but they call them flying because that's what they look like. And Hashem designed this to allow them to escape predators that are about to grab them, and also to be able to go from tree to tree and to avoid the ground where there's much more predators. There's more danger for them. During the daytime they're active. They're busy looking for and eating up many ants and termites. The males defend their territories, and Hashem gave them a dewlap similar to the anoles I showed you that have a dewlap, this thing that comes down under their chin. It's colorful. So they have one also. Besides that, they actually chase each other. The males chase each other through the trees, trying to intimidate each other so that one of them could claim the territory. And here's the pictures. You have it?
Now I do. Okay.
Okay, now we're going to go to another lizard, the bearded lizard. And the bearded lizard is pretty big. He gets to be as long as 20 inches, which is almost 2 feet long. And it doesn't really have a beard. It just looks like a beard. It's black, dark black, and it's actually like pokey spines that are under its jaw pouch. And its main defense is making use of this, what's called a beard. What it does is, if it's some predator, some enemy corners it, traps it, so it will make a very aggressive display toward that animal. What he'll do is he'll face him head on. He'll make his body look bigger by standing up high on his feet, expanding his ribs, his body, by raising up his ribs. And he makes his beard look very big by stretching out his jaw pouch. And he opens his mouth. It has a golden yellowish color to a yellowish green color, and he shows the inside of it to the enemy, and he hisses like a snake. And if he has to, he will bite. They have powerful jaws, and they have a powerful bite. But mostly they're hoping that with their aggressive display, the predator will leave them alone and go away. And they eat mostly insects, but they'll also eat smaller lizards than themselves, small snakes, and they like flowers. And here's our bearded lizard. Okay, now we're going to do another animal called an armadillo lizard. Okay, an armadillo lizard lives in South Africa. He moves very slowly. So, how does he escape danger if he moves so slowly? Well, Hashem gave him, first of all, the very color of the sand that he lives upon, so he's camouflaged well in sand. Besides that, if some enemy tries to get him, he will go quickly to a rock, and he'll try to wedge himself into a crevice in the rock with only its tail showing out. And his tail is very spiky, so that nobody could put their mouth around that tail and eat it. But what happens if he can't get to a hiding place fast enough? So Hashem gave him another way to protect himself. He can curl himself up in a ball. He'll grab with his tail, with his mouth, and hold on very tight. And his soft belly, which is very vulnerable to being eaten by enemies, by predators, is totally protected because he is just a ball of spikes. His whole body is spikes. And snakes or birds or bigger lizards, they might chase it, but none of them will try to bite through this armor. They give up and go away. And he'll stay there rolled up like this as long as it takes until the predator gives up and goes away. Really incredible looking critter. There's another lizard in South Africa that's sort of like a cousin, I guess. I didn't see them say he was a cousin, but he is very similar. Spines all over his body and his tail, and he does try to do the same thing. They have a picture of this. They can dig themselves into the dirt trying to get away from the enemy, and the only thing that is left outside is its spiky tail, which it'll wave around to keep away the enemies. It's called the sun gazer, and that's what he'll do. He will dive headfirst into a hole. I have a picture of it here. Or wedge himself into a crevice, and here you see his spiky tail sticking out. I believe it's bigger lizard than the armadillo lizard, but a very similar defense system Hashem gave him. And I have one more picture, I think. Yeah, it's a nice big picture of the whole animal. Okay. Okay, I think that's all we'll do for today. Next week we're going to do the last of the lizards that we're going to do. And then after that we're going to begin on crocodiles and alligators. Have a good Shabbos.